Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Uh, Welcome to Swear Entertainment, where I swear to give you my honest opinion and facts on sports, music, all kind of great stuff. I want to talk to you today because we had just finished Super Wild Card Weekend in the NFL, where we saw a lot of good games, a lot of good teams, and I'm gonna just give you a brief recap of the the games. First game up was the Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills. Uh, I like Phillip Rivers. I've always thought that he, uh, through the course of his career, has become a Hall of Fame quarterback. Even without Super Bowls, without a Super Bowl appearance, his stats and his production in the NFL has solidified him a spot in the Hall of Fame. He is like a Dan Marino of our era. A guy that, plays hard, has great stats, just hasn't had the right team, to hoist that trophy. Playing against a very young team in the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is he's a very good developing quarterback. He's going to be one of those quarterbacks that last in this league a very long time. We'll be talking about him, 10, 15 years from now. If he stays healthy, that's what a lot of quarterbacks. As long as they've been able to stay healthy, they can have pretty long careers. So, if Josh Allen stays healthy, that he will have a very good career. The game basically boiled down to the big play. The big play. Buffalo Bills had more big plays. Uh, they fell down early, came back up late, and Phillip Rivers just couldn't get it done. He couldn't get the ball to T.Y. Hilton. He in the last closing seconds of the game, he just couldn't find a completion to get into field goal range to even tie the game up to go to overtime. But if Phillip Rivers retires, he's still top five in touchdowns. He's top five in yards, passing yards. Basically, in 5 years, first ballot Hall of Famer, Phillip Rivers. But the Buffalo Bills go on. Next game, we got the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. The Rams started off with backup quarterback Wolford. Because Jared Goff had suffered a broken thumb, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. They did surgery on him. He was trying to work it out. He'd been taking some reps, but, he wasn't ready to go. He got injured in the game, and Jared Goff had to come in, and the defense and Jared Goff just really being the tough player that he is, just overpowered the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks are basically one-dimensional team. They turn around here and if you can contain Russell Wilson, and if you could not let him allow him to get the ball to DK Metcalf, basically you've stopped the whole Seattle offense. Because that's what they strive on. Russell Wilson being able to extend the play and then also getting the ball to DK Metcalf. Also, they also have Tyler Lockett, which he's a very good receiver. But DK Metcalf is the primary target. He's their long target. Lockett is more of the intermediate slot receiver that he can get you. He helps you get you down the field, but as far as really punching it into the end zone and really getting your team, that momentum, he's not that guy. That's DK Metcalf, right? And you saw during the course of this game him getting frustrated because he wasn't getting targeted. But see, you're not getting targeted because they're double coveraging you. They're not. I mean, no, they play excellent defense on him. No, the Rams, unfortunately, they suffered some injuries during the game, but they won. So then they move on. Uh, Next game was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington Redskins. Needless to say, yes, I'm a New York Giants fan, and yes, I wanted to see the Washington Redskins lose. I was rooting for Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to go into Washington and to destroy the Washington Redskins, and which that did happen. Tom Brady, he's the greatest quarterback of this generation. He's proven it. He looked really good in this game. He threw the ball accurately. It was a few drop passes, but for the most part, to be 40, I think he's 41. No, he looked like Tom Brady. He looked like Tom Brady. Um, for the Washington Redskins, unfortunately, Alex Smith wasn't able to be their starting quarterback, so they ended up having Star Heineken at quarterback, which actually he did not do a bad job. He did not do a bad job. He did what he was supposed to do as a backup quarterback coming into this game with no real expectation. Actually, I wanted it to be the Giants playing Tampa Bay. But yes, I'm very happy that that Tampa Bay won and they moved on. Next game we have is the Baltimore Ravens and the Tennessee Titans. Right? If you really watch football, you remember last year, Baltimore. Well, they had the playoff wasn't the way that they were this year. Last year, top two teams in each conference, AFC, NFC, got the bye week, and I think Baltimore had a 13-3 record last year, so they got the first round bye. And I said last year that Baltimore was a team that did not need the bye week, that they were riding, I believe, a 10 or 11 game win streak or something like that going into the playoffs, and I was more of that. The momentum would have carried them to the Super Bowl. Right. But when you break that momentum, I felt like they were not more experienced enough to be able to, bounce back after a bye week. And it proved true. They lost in the divisional round. I mean, badly. I mean, Lamar Jackson looked totally out of sync, and it just, the whole offense was just not clicking at all, and they end up losing. So for this year, for them having to play, actually, they going into playoff with momentum again. They on like a 3-game win streak, and it was really just Baltimore the one not being able to contain Lamar Jackson, and they did the thing that they were supposed to do. They stopped Derrick Henry. Right. Ryan Tannehill is a game managing quarterback at best. He's fortunate enough to have a guy like Derrick Henry that is, for back-to-back seasons, he's the NFL top rusher. This year he rushed for over 2,000 yards. I think it was like 2,024 yards. When you have that, your play action game is amazing. So but you contained him. I watched the game. The game, they had sometimes 7, 8 guys, 9 guys in the box to stop him. They wasn't letting him get nothing. I think he. I don't even know how many yards he ended up with. But I know watching the game, he was kind of frustrated on the sidelines. Then we have the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints. Needless to say, this was a game that everybody knew that New Orleans was going to win this game, right? Because the game came down to basically one simple concept: quarterback play. Mitch Trubisky of the Chicago Bears is a moderate quarterback at best. But for the Chicago organization, he's the best for what they have. And to go up against Drew Brees and the Saints, that was like no contest. No. No, and then also when you got you had Michael Thomas back, you had Kamara back. Basically, you had a fully loaded New Orleans offense, right? Drew Brees playing with just one mission and one mission only: to try to win one more Super Bowl. There was no way Chicago was going to win this game. And to the final game of the Super Wildcard Weekend was the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you see, I got my Browns hat on. No, I'm from Cleveland. I grew up a Browns fan. Hated Pittsburgh for as long as I can remember. Respect the organization, though. You know what I'm saying? But hate Pittsburgh. Hate Pittsburgh. To watch this game and to see the Cleveland Browns be the first team, the only team in NFL history to ever score 28 points in the first quarter, right, of a playoff game was wonderful. It was wonderful. The victory for the Cleveland Browns is bittersweet. It's so sweet. Only reason why bittersweet because you still got other teams to play. You know, this ain't it. This wasn't like the Super Bowl, but it was definitely one to remember. One to remember. Ben Roethlisberger, 4 interceptions. I mean, even though he threw for over 500 yards, but Baker Mayfield had a better game. He had 3 touchdowns. Right? You had Kareem Hunt with 2 touchdowns. You had Nick Chubb touchdown. You had Jarvis Landry touchdown. You had there was Hooper touchdown. It was a really, really uplifting moment for Cleveland. Because throughout our playoff history, throughout the Cleveland Browns playoff history, that's the one team that the Browns have lost to. And so the last time we won a playoff game was back in '94. Right? '94, beat the New England Patriots, lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fast forward, go 2002, wild card game, playing Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh knock us out. So to win today was amazing. It got kind of shaky there after halftime. It got real shaky. The Browns have been famous for allowing teams to come back in games. to be conservative in the second half. But but they didn't play conservative this game. They didn't play conservative at all. Right? They still ran the ball. They still threw the ball. When they needed to score, they scored. And the last interception was so wonderful. Was so wonderful. I'm gonna say. I mean, like I said, I still root for the Browns. I never not root for the Browns. Only time I don't root for the Browns is when they play the Giants. But I always root for the Browns. Always will. I hope the Browns actually face Kansas City in the next round, which the Browns scored 49 points. They got 49 points today. It may need another 49-point game to beat Kansas City. But it's I really liked that. I really like that. I really like the fact that mind you, the Browns won this game without their head coach, without offensive line coach, assistant offensive line coach, had injuries on the offensive line, which they brought in extra linemen that have never, ever even played the game. To win this game, and I wish I could show you a picture of Ben Roethlisberger sitting on the sideline, just like in awe, like just like, did this really just happen? Yes, it did happen. You lost to the Cleveland Browns at home in the playoffs. You're going to be watching them on TV next week, next weekend, while you're sitting at home. Yes. But that was Wild Card Weekend, right? Actually, it was a lot of fun watching all these games. I would say this channel has really made me really want to get deeper into sports and a lot of other stuff too. I'm gonna be doing once I get everything set up the way that I really want it. I'm gonna be doing unboxing, showing you music and all kind of great stuff. All kind of great stuff. Not just gonna be about sports. It's gonna be about everything. It's gonna be about maybe throw some politics, some other other issues going on in our world that sometimes somebody needs to talk about. But other than that, hope everybody had a great weekend. Right, it was a wonderful weekend in sports. I probably will be coming back to you soon because the national championship game is tomorrow. Alabama and Ohio State. Right, who's gonna pull it off? Right, we will see. But I'll catch y'all later. Peace.